Hello, Paul Gillings here. I thought I'd talk to you today about recording or playing on or trying to work out a song, specifically a song that isn't necessarily a blues song, but working it out so that you can play your harmonica along to it. Blues songs, we've been playing them on the harmonica for, a good century now, and working out how to play on other people's songs and other people's music is something I've been doing a lot lately for some session work and for some different bands, especially local bands around my area, around Lowestoft, who want some harmonica. I've heard my harmonica playing, but wants it on their track, but it's not necessarily a blues track. So what I thought I'd talk about is how we go about working out how to play on those songs, what it is that what do we do, where do we fit in, what are the chords, what's the key, what key harp do I need, tell me what to do. But these guys aren't, because they don't understand harmonica. It's not like a blues jam. We've been to a blues jam where somebody goes, oh mate, you need a C harp, and I've looked at this guy, usually the guitarist or something, you need a C, don't you mate, we're in G, so you need a C. And I'm like, well, I'll decide what harp I want to play. Thanks, buddy. But yeah, thanks for working out second position for me. I was going to do third, as it's a minor, or whatever it was. I was going to decide. I'm a harmonica player. I'd like to decide what key harmonica I'm playing. You know what I'm saying? So I've got a song from a friend of mine called the song's called Minnesota, and it's a single he's going to be releasing. He's asked me to play harmonica on it. The artist is a friend of mine called Isaac Lister. He's got stuff on Spotify. We play in a band together called Spectacular Man. We've got an album out called The Winding Road to Everywhere, so please check that out on Spotify, iTunes, all your streaming bits and pieces. So if you want to see what we've been doing already. So I've got a song called Minnesota here that I've loaded into my DAW that I'll put up on the screen. And let's have a listen. And while we're listening, I want you to do some exercises for me. So I want you to have a little tootle on your harmonicas and see if you can find out what key it's in. What harmonica would you like to use with it? I'd also like you to know where the spaces are. Where the spaces are for your harmonica. Is there a specific break that so this track is finished. It's just got to put my harmonica on it. So I'm getting you to my work for me in a way. I did this exercise on HUK Harmonica UK live stream yesterday, Saturday, and went down great. So let's have a listen. Trust your ears. See what you think. Have a listen to this song here. I'm going to press play and have a little jam along. See what you think.
Seeds came in the mail today from Holland, and the language on the package was wonderful and strange. All sorts of flowers that grow up from the earth, in goodly colors, gloriously arranged. I circled the house and I scattered them around. I let the water sink down into the soil. Stared a long time at the residue, blood, milk and oil. God, the humidity is something. My shirt's soaked clean through. The house is throbbing and the heat keeps coming, and I keep looking at you. Singing in Dutch to me, and I recognize the song. It seems so old and so fragile, and I haven't heard it in so long. We may throw the windows open later, but we are not as far west as we suppose we are. Hot wind coming off the water, wet air, sweat, water and alcohol. Just the old blood rising up through the wooden floor again. Just the old love asking for more again. Hey!
Okay, we'll stop that there. Okay, so that's Minnesota. That's the track. I hope you had a lovely jam along and discovered what particular key or what you'd like to play to that. Personally, I chose a C major diatonic. And I chose to do it in the key of G, so I'm in second position on my C major diatonic. Now, why did I choose C? Well, it sounded like it to me. I trusted my ears. I went for it. Did anyone think about the structure and what parts and where there were good bits to play harp over? Were we playing in between the vocals? What did the song need? And I think this is something that we need to think about every time we approach any song. What does the song need? What am I adding to it? What am I doing? Am I doing it any good whatsoever by playing the parts that I'm playing? So for me, there's a bit at the start there. There's the intro, which is a lovely bit leading into the singing. So I think the singing starts around 25 seconds in there. So we've got a little bit leading in 2 seconds. So if I start the song and we'll go straight to and I'll play a little idea or something to lead into the first vocals then. No? How about that?
Seeds came in the mail today from Holland.
Okay, do you see what I did there? So I let it and then let it sort of ease into, almost lead into where his vocals are. And what I try to do with my solos thing is sort of give people a bit of an impression of what the song is about, especially before the vocals start. Give them a little taster. Seeds came in from Holland. I don't know what he's talking about, but you can imitate that that melody line within your solo in to give people a taste of what's coming. You add into the song, you're building momentum to that song happening. So there's a lovely bit there. What about playing in between the vocals? What do we think to that? So let's take it back to the start of his vocals.
Seeds came in the mail today from Holland, and the language on the package
It's a bit busy, doesn't
is
it?
wonderful and strange. All sorts of flowers
You got to keep it
that
simple
grow up
if we're
from
doing
the
that.
earth in goodly colors, gloriously arranged.
Oh, now here we go. We've got a chord sequence. We've got a chord sequence change. So far, we've had this 4-bar, 4-chord rotating riff. So how do I know it's 4 chords? Let's have a little listen and we'll count along with it. So here we go. From the start, let's count along and see where point out where the changes are. It's just a good listening exercise here. Change. 3, 4. Change. 2, 3, 4. Change. 2, 3, 4. Back to the start. 3, 4. Change. 2, 3, 4. Change. 2, 3, 4. Change. 2, 3, 4. So those chords rotate round until we get into that little bit. I don't know if it's a build up to the chorus bit, and then we've got a change in there as well. But we've got a different 4-chord sequence in there. So far we've got part A and part B.
In goodly colors, gloriously arranged. I circled the house and I scattered them around. I let the water sink down into the soil.
Same sequence again.
Stared a long time at the residue.
3, 4, change.
blood, milk and oil. God, the humidity
this
is
B
something.
section still going. Still not an awful lot of room between the vocals, is there?
Clean through.
I'm inclined to leave it.
The house is throbbing and the heat keeps coming. And I keep looking at you.
So I've got an instrumental. See, again, I didn't keep going into when the vocals came up. I anticipated when the vocals were coming up. I mean, I heard the song a few times now, and you know, it would be nice to make your solo, to make your bit fit the part that it's doing. And you know, so I didn't go all out. I mean, that's the thing at blues jams. We're doing 12-bar blues. We get 12 or 24 bars, and the guitarist points us, say go. So we go crazy. We blow our heads off, and there's absolutely no need to. And they say less is more, but I don't know. Sometimes more is more. Sometimes it needs that. And towards the end of this track, it builds a big crescendo. And I remember listening to a lot of Queen, British rock group, when I was a kid, and they have either the kitchen sink beginnings, they called them, or the kitchen sink endings, where they will put everything in, including the kitchen sink, into these things. So we've got these two sections. We've got a lovely couple of bits there where we can put in, and it pretty much, take my word for it, but we'll listen to it later when I play through it, goes completely through then until the end, where the last bit, about 3 minutes in, it sort of finishes. So it finishes around here.
For again, just the old love. For more again. Hey!
And now we've got a solo right to the end. It's instrumental. We can absolutely blow our heads off. It's getting busy on the cymbals. The organ's in. We can go crazy. You get the idea. Do you know what I mean? So let's break that down a bit further then. What chords are in section A at the start here? So section A consists of 4 chords. I'll write them up on the screen for you. So it consists of the chords G, E minor, D and C. And let me just play that first bit for you, and I'll call the chords out as it goes past. So we start on the G, E minor, D, C, and it repeats round. Okay, how can I tell that's an E minor chord? Well, it's a sad chord. You know, that's the main difference between major and minor chords. If you don't know, major chords are happy, minor chords are sad. So we've got, and you can say, oh, it's the flattened third, all this, that. But let's look at what actual notes are within the scales for those particular chords, because over each of those chords we can play the scale of that chord. So over a G chord we can play a G scale, over an E minor we could play an E minor scale. Now if I put those notes up for you, so G major scale has the notes G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp and G in it, and the chord of E minor and the scale of E minor, has E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D and E. Now don't they look alike? Don't they look the same? Don't they look exactly the same? That's because, you know, G is the relative major to E minor and E minor is the relative minor to G major. They have the same notes in common, just starting from a different place. Okay, the next chord, D. So we have D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp and D. Again, between those 3 scales, we've got an awful lot of notes in common, a hell of a lot of notes in common, with the exception of the C sharp. It's all pretty much the same, let's face it. And then the last chord in that sequence is C. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C. So we've got loads of notes to in common over that entire 4-chord patch to choose from. So which is why I went for the C major diatonic. If I put up on screen here the layout for the C major diatonic and put the scales for those chords or applicable to those chords underneath, you'll see that we have all the notes there, with the exception of the little F sharp, which is the bend on hold 2, first bend on hold 2, or the overblow on 5. And in the top register, I can't actually remember the top of my head, but when I'm sure it's up there somewhere. There is one. There's definitely one in there. So we will be able to play more or less all over those 4 chords on our C major diatonic in second position, but not necessarily with a bluesy scale, because the B flat in the top octave. So you notice I did go a little bit bluesy if you listen back on the end solo of that a little bit, just to spice it up, just to throw it up and to see what happened. Obviously experimenting. I encourage you to experiment too all the time. Trust your ears, see if it sounded right. Did that sound right to you when I played it? Did it sound a little bit not in keeping with the song, or was it exactly what you wanted because you like a bit of grunty, rocky blues stuff? So the second chord sequence where he hits the, if I'll just drag it to that, where he hits the...
I circled the house and I scattered them around. I let the water sink down into
B.
the soil.
We've got the chords A minor,
Stared a long time at the residue.
G,
Blood, milk and oil.
C. If we look at the scales that are available to those chords over them, A minor has the notes A, B, C, D, E, F, G and A. D, we've done already, so we've got D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. G, we've got G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp and G. And finally our C, well we know what C is, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Again, exactly the same notes as the A minor, because A minor is the relative minor to C. So again, we're still sticking and looking at all those notes. They're all available on our C harp, again with the exception of the little F sharp there in the D scale, but we can still get that F sharp. Also a country tuned harmonica, I've been told, will work very well with this as well, which has the F sharp to the F raised to an F sharp on the draw 5 on this diagram here. I've got a video about how to tune those. On my last video, how to tune a harmonica, we'll show you how to create a country tuned harmonica and how to tune that. But yeah, so we've got plenty of notes to choose from here, and we've got plenty of bits to do. It's just like, what does the song need? What is it calling to us? How does this song make us feel? What should the solo, what should the lead instrument, if you like, be doing to bring the song along and not just be an ego trip for us to whittle all over it? Because there are songs that are invented like that, and sometimes live you might do that. But for this recording and you know how this song is going to go out, I want it to be a lovely testament to my friend Isaac's great songwriting, and lovely of him to ask me to be on it. I'm just flattered that people are writing songs with the harmonica in mind, and that modern songs are the harmonica's being used, and not just for really repeating really old blues songs. As much as I love that, I think we should move forward a little bit. Some of us will. Not everybody has to. You can do what you like, but I'm loving moving forward with it. They've got about 40 or 50 songs of session work that I've been on for the past few years. I've made up a little Spotify playlist of them all. If you look up Paul Gillings on Spotify, you'll see my playlist there of other alternative tracks that I've played on. I've done a bit of chromatic on some people's tracks. There's some folk, there's some gypsy jazz, there's some obviously rock and blues, there's some indie work as well as stuff like that, and some very Britpoppy kind of stuff too, and all incorporating the harmonica into all these different chord sequences, because I learned to take them apart. A little bit of musical knowledge is a wonderful thing. It's a cumulative subject. The more you spend your time learning that little bit of it, just learning to recognize where the breaks are, just trust in your ears as to how to play the song, what harmonica I need, is still music theory, is still adjusting your ears to where it needs to change, where you need to stop, still gives you a musicality. So let's put it all together, shall we? Let's see what sort of what the song is asking for and what it needs, and let's play that. Let's play the whole song and have a little jam. I'm gonna experiment. Some might work, some might not, and let's see what happens, shall we?
Came in the mail today from Holland, and the language on the package was wonderful and strange. All sorts of flowers that glow up from the earth in goodly colors, gloriously arranged. I circled the house and I scattered them around. I let the water sink down into the soil. Stared a long time at the residue, blood, milk and oil. God, the humidity is something. The shirts are soaked clean through. The house is throbbing and the heat keeps coming, and I keep looking at you. Singing in Dutch to me, and I recognize the song. Seems so old and so fragile, and I haven't heard it in so long. We may throw the windows open later, but we are not as far west as we suppose we are. Hot wind coming off the water, the sky gone crazy with stars. While we stay here, we imagine we're alive, and we see shadows on the wall. There's something waiting for us in the hot, wet air, sweat, water and alcohol. The old blood rising up through the wooden floor again. Just the old blood asking for more again. Hey!
Okay, so I took some risks there. Some paid off, some didn't. I tried experimenting and overplaying a little bit in between the vocals, and some worked, some didn't. Again, it's taste. For these sorts of things, sometimes I usually lay down the track and play, maybe overplay a bit, and then send it my individual stream out of my DAW that I've got in front of you, that I've been sort of cutting in and out of, and send them the individual stem of just the harmonica, and then people can usually, because I've done a lot of home recording, especially since the rise of it post-pandemic. So so they can then cut out the bits they don't want. Bits and bits. If they don't want the whittling in between, they can have it. Maybe they'll like it. I don't know. It might not be to my taste. And I try to be tasteful, try not to overplay. But sometimes I've sent stuff and I've gone, no, I need more. I want more. I play all. This is what the song is for. But you never know. Everybody's taste is different. I can only do what I think is right. And for me, I overplayed a bit in the middle there to demo. I ran out of ideas at one particular point towards the end there. You may have noticed and fumbled around a bit. But it's what happens. We all make mistakes. It's not. We all have to work towards it. I've only played this song through now about 3 or 4 times, including my workshop yesterday, and I'm still finding my way around it. It takes that amount of time. But what we can do in the meantime is put these things in place, finding out what the chord structures are, finding out what the structure of the song is, what the feel, what the key of the song is, what the key center. That was essential. I didn't make that point earlier. All those naming of the scales there were to try and find the key center, and we found that the key center, I think the most common notes with a key center of G. I think my friend Mary Beth said it's also called in America called a tonal center. She spelt center differently, so it threw me off. But you know, find the key center. Find where the breaks are. Find the feel of the song. Play the song. If you're not adding anything to the song, don't do it. I was doing it for demo purposes. I was doing it just to see what happens. You know, this is an instructional video or an advice video. I wouldn't instruct and demand you did anything, but I hope that it's been useful. Always trust your ears. And have fun more than anything else. Really enjoy playing harmonica. I really enjoy the challenge of playing harmonica to something that isn't just a straight ahead blues. It inspires me to be a different player. It inspires me to reach different parts of my harmonica I didn't have before, and I hope you do too. Okay, well, yeah, if you like what you've seen, please subscribe, give us a like, give us a comment, tell me what you think. Okay, and I hope to see you again soon. Thank you.